lovies, this is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm, and today I really wanted to speak with you all about crisis. So a crisis situation is considered a situation that is out of one's control. That means nobody can control it, no one's hands are directly manipulating it, and it can happen at any time. They're sporadic, right? So the coronavirus is one of those things that people would consider a crisis. Natural disasters are something that people would consider a crisis. But we also have crisis situations in our lives that no one can control, such as death, such as a loss of significant wages, the stock market crashing. And so I really wanted to let you all know to put crisis into a different perspective. And with this video, I'm going to help you do that because there's a lot of benefits in character building during that time. So, number one, crisis brings you back to the simplicity of life. A lot of people right now are spending time with their family, speaking with them about things that they have never spoken about, and it's really bringing up a lot of issues that people have had or things that they haven't faced for a long time. Personally, I went home it was about a week and a half ago to see my family, and just being in their presence, my mom and my sister and I played Uno, and we just had a really good time. I was recording videos for my channel and just getting to know them even more on a deeper level because, when you move away from home, things change, you change, they change, and that's why it's essential for you to continue to be in their presence and to visit and show them that you still love them and that you still care, because we're human and we need to be reminded. So that period of time really reminded me what life is all about. Like, this is the simplicity of life. Family, friendship, you really get to see who's in your corner, what kind of people are essential and non-essential people in your lives. And so that's really, really important. So it brings you back to the simplicity. Also, the simplicity of things that we need. Like, I know I get waxes, I get my nails done, and that's not necessary. Right now, what's necessary is me eating as healthy as possible, keeping up my immune system, making sure that I am taking care of my body still, as far as my skin, making sure that I use that Queen Care body butter and sugar scrub. I used the face mask yesterday and did a facial treatment on myself, which you guys have probably seen some of those posts from my skincare line. And so that brought me back to the simplicity. Like, these are the things that are essential. So even when I was thinking about my finances, because I did have a conversation last week with my financial advisor, it really reminded me, like, okay, well, if I had to cut back on anything as far as budgeting, these would be the categories, right? And that's what you think about in times of crisis. So second, you have to remember that crisis is temporary. Everything in life goes in seasons. Like, we just had, it wasn't even really a harsh winter, but it was windy. It was very windy in North Carolina, and everything is seasonal. Trouble don't last always, as they say. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. Everything is seasonal. So whether you're having a great time or you're having a horrible time right now, you're going through trials and tribulations, it's temporary, and you're definitely going to make it through. And throughout this process, just this season in my life, starting from the beginning of the year, I really became an advocate for suicide prevention, because suicide is a permanent, I can't even call it a solution because it doesn't solve anything, but you're making a permanent decision for a temporary problem. And if we can't learn to get out of our heads and to speak life over ourselves and to seek help when we need it, we will find ourselves in a predicament like that, where we want to take our own lives, where we feel desperate, where we feel helpless. And you cannot do that. Speak out. Ask for help, you guys. It's temporary. I promise. It's temporary. And there are things that you can be doing to prevent you from focusing on the problem, especially if it's considered a crisis. That means there's nothing you can do. You've exhausted your options. You've done everything that you can do up until this point, and now you need to chill. Okay? Next, crisis is leadership development. There was a speaker that called crisis the sauce of development. You need that. You need that pressure. One of the things I tell people all the time is that my dad always wanted boys. My dad wanted a son so bad. He was in the Marine Corps. He was a football fanatic. He was actually a Panthers fan. And I like the Panthers too. I'm rolling my eyes because of my dad, not because of the sport. And so he was a crazy man. But one of the things my dad did was hit me all the time. He was very tough on me. He was always, poking me and pushing me around. And sometimes he would literally physically hit me. Like I was abused often as a child. And so that made me a fighter. Like when I got old enough to hit him back, I was doing it. I'm not going to lie to you. So it put a fighter in me. It put a different type of drive. But guess what? When I got in school and I learned what bullies were and people were trying to push me around, I didn't allow anybody to put their hands on me. Like they knew not. Yes, you can talk, but don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Please don't do that, because you have no idea the kind of strength that I have and that I built up over the process. Also, my father was mentally abusive, so it built up my mental resilience, my ability to I can take a lot. Like sometimes people are like, why didn't you ask for help? Why didn't you reach out to us? And I'm like, because I can handle that, and I'm mature enough to know when it gets to the point that I do need to reach out for help. But my father built that in me. Some people don't have that same story. They're not able to say that it built me up. They're like, oh, my parents really tore me down. It messes them up mentally. But for me, I had the adverse effect. So be mindful of that too, especially when you're dealing with people that you know and you love. If your people were tough on you, that doesn't mean you can do the same thing with your child. Your child may not be able to handle that. Maybe your oldest, they may thrive and, be able to tough it out and show other people tough love. But maybe your youngest baby, she can't handle that. She doesn't need people talking at her. Maybe she needs a different type of encouragement. Okay, and every parent is different. So I'm not condoning and saying like, okay, what my dad did was correct, but I'm thankful for it. To be quite honest, I really am. So that's leadership development. It's the sauce of development. And I realized as I got older how much of an asset it was to me, because I'm built different. I'm built for it tough. All right. Next, crisis tests your faith and your attitude. Listen, when you are going through something, it really tests who you are. Like for some people, okay, somebody made their breakfast wrong this morning when they stopped by the local Dunkin' Donuts and their iced coffee didn't taste right, so they're mad. Me, I'm just, okay, can we fix this? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You added extra hazelnut. Thank you. I really appreciate it. They catch a flat tire. I'm making a call. Hey, I may not make it on time. I just wanted to let you guys know, but I do have roadside assistance, so I'm about to be waiting. While I'm waiting on roadside assistance, I'm making a video. And I'm not even mentioning, unless it's applicable to the point I'm making, I'm not even mentioning the fact that I'm on the side of the road right now waiting on roadside assistance because I ran over a nail. It doesn't matter. Like, I can improvise, right? For some people, they may take that breakfast and deal with it and eat it and it be nasty, so then they go to work and complain. Or before they get to work, like I said, they had a flat tire, so now they're pissed off. They're like, I can't do this. Like, this day is just going all wrong. Then they get to work and somebody stole their favorite chair away from their desk, so now they're like, what in the world? I ain't no pressure. Listen, when I go to lunch, I'll see who has my chair. If there's a more comfortable chair around, I'll switch that one out. I'm going to get me. Do you understand? And that is a slang term meaning I'm going to make sure that I'm good regardless. Improvise. It's all about perspective. I promise you. It test your faith, test that attitude. And lastly, it brings unity. If you guys don't know, I am going through a crisis situation right now with my school. And I never realized how large my support system was until this situation happened and I spoke out about it. I literally have so many people advocating for me and giving me support and advice. So many people, even from CSWE, the NASW. And I'm just like, the outpouring of love and support is ridiculous. And I'm having people tell me how I've inspired them and how I've touched others throughout the process. And that feels good. That feels so good to hear. So listen, you keeping your spirits up, you being happy, you being vibrant, you always putting your best foot forward, that will be an asset to you. Okay? It may not be everybody that you help comes to your rescue, and it doesn't matter, because that's not what we show love for. I don't show love so people can show love back to me. I show love because that's who I am. I give free game because that's who I am. I teach because that's who I am. But it's going to be an asset, because what you put out is what you receive. Period. Period. You will get it back. I promise. So with that being said, if you need a coach, you know how to reach me. All of my information is in the description box. And peace and love until next time. Bye.